Since man first found his voice, we've been using music to understand our place in the universe and record our history. Here at Behind the Shadow, we're going to show you exciting new artists and also take you behind the glass to show you what it's like to be in a recording studio and help you learn all about how to take care of your music business. Welcome to Behind the Shadow. We've got an exciting show for you with our special guest, Gwen Hughes. It's all about the music, so let's go.
Come along with me, the air is fine. Let me take you in my arms, put your hand in mine. It's hard to believe that we'd ever come this far. It seems like yesterday you came into my heart to stay. I'll never mind the rain if you're there to keep me warm. Thanks for saying yes. These years with you have been the very best. Saying I do was the smartest thing I've done. You're the only one I could ever lean upon. The years have flown by just like feathers on a breeze. I'll do as I please, as long as you're along with me. I'll never mind the rain if you're there to keep me warm. Thanks for saying yes. These years with you have been the very best. These years with you have been the very best. These years with you have been the very best.
I am so excited here at Behind the Shadow. We have someone that I have wanted to sit down in this venue with for a long time. She is truly a jewel and treasure of Georgia, and it is Gwen Hughes.
Oh,
and
Jay.
I am so glad to have you, my friend.
Back at you, sweetie.
I've
Thank you.
known you for a long time, and I just have recently been hearing more and more great music come from you. So I just wanted to ask you kind of, I've always thought of you, in the jazz arena, but I don't know if that's fair to limit you to that genre. What do you think you are? I mean, what kind of music do you think you do?
Well, I struggle with that question all the time, and I think where I come out is I'm a soul singer.
Gotcha.
R&B soul, but that is probably even arguable.
Yeah.
And, I write straight ahead pop songs.
Gotcha.
So, but I love it all,
Well, talking about it, you've been in this business for a long time. You chose this as a career, and this, and
started in Macon, Georgia.
I did not know that. I learned something new.
I started with a fella named Jim Eshelman in the late 80s, 90s. And then the biggest blessing, one of the biggest blessings in my life is I hooked up with Paul Hornsby.
Yeah, no,
over
Paul
at
well.
Muscadine.
Sure.
And he's a lifelong friend, and we played the Air Force bases and all over the place, and he taught me so much, and I had such a great time with him. So I owe a lot to Macon.
And Paul's incredible and did a lot with the Allman Brothers and stuff as well.
I know.
And that whole scene. So do you, as a business, do you find it is easier to be sort of a multi-genre artist, or is it harder?
Harder.
Yeah.
Harder. I'm sure you know what I mean because you were just talking about where you put your bands.
Yeah.
It's much easier if you have a really identifiable sound that people know exactly where to slot you. I think people have always used jazz as a default for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a singer who can sing jazz.
Right.
But that's not all I do. And I do a lot of things sort of well. And so, what is it? Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
And that creates my own hybrid sound, which, if I was rich and famous would be okay because then you can be
Right,
all
right.
whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
But it's been a little harder. Now, this far along in my career, I sort of like it because now most of the people who book me and for my original concerts, people like the variety that they're going to get.
Well, I mean, I think that's the thing as we get older and more seasoned. I mean, people start realizing, I mean, a lot of what you get when you book me, whether you want it or not, is I talk to the audience a lot. I mean,
You're fantastic.
you know, well, I don't know about that. I appreciate those kind of words, but I just, you know, I tell a lot of stupid jokes, and I don't make up jokes or humor, but I just tell stories about, you know, crazy things that have happened because I can't see or whatever. So I mean, you know, I kind of like the fact that I'm a little bit renegade in the sense of, you know, I do what I want, and if it's, you know, uber successful financially, great. And if it's not, that's not the choice, but that's okay too. I mean, I'm okay with that if it has to be.
Right.
You know, and I find that, kind of to echo what you're saying, I find that the fans and people that come to you are really legitimately fans and are there for long term, and that's kind of the payoff. You have maybe fewer, you know, $1 million sellouts, but you have the people that come really want to be there.
Yeah, and I'm free to do. I think the thing about being a career musician, you know, there's two things that you can be. Most people start out wanting to be a star. We all do. We're in it for the attention.
Why not?
And so then if you don't get the stardom, those are the burnout cases. So then there's the rest of us that it's like, well, this is my career.
Right.
What am I going to do with this? How do I make money and support myself in the manner to which I have become accustomed?
Yes, caveat on.
Yes, and not starve. You know, I'm a solidly middle-class girl.
Yeah,
and,
no, I hear you.
And so then you just have to you're a small business person.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
an
we can't all be
entrepreneur.
Paul McCartney, as sad as that is.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, but I mean, I'm with you. I feel you. So that brings me around to talking about your album that you're working right now, and I'm really excited. I've heard a little bit of it before today, and tell me a little bit about the inspiration and the direction of this record.
Thanks. It's called Native Land.
Yeah.
I got signed to a label in New York called Zoho
Like it.
Records. And the fella that helped me get signed, his name is Kabir Segal, he went to Emory. And even though he lives in New York City and he's, you know, mainly works with Afro-Cuban artists, he really took a special interest in me, got me signed, and wanted, I think the main thing he liked about it was that I was from Georgia, that I wasn't New York. And so we called it Native Land because he was like, let's call it Magnolia Blossom. And I was like, just shoot me. No, we're not going to call it Magnolia anything. So Native Land is where we come.
That sounds too country if you do that, for one thing.
Well, and it's just, I mean, I'm
That's
Southern.
a perfume, not an album.
That's right. I think it's a cleaner, but it's a Glade scent. Anyway, so we called it Native Land because I am a Southern girl, but I feel like I'm really a person of the world.
You're a
even
world
more
citizen.
than the South.
Yeah.
But this is where I live, and so the songs do have a very sort of Americana feel to them, a more rustic feel. We have performed in New York. We just got back from Sweden, playing a festival over there with it,
Sweden.
and it's been an awesome ride. We've gotten great reviews. We got entered for the Grammys.
Yeah.
For some reason, thank you. But gee, there's this woman named Adele that won all the Grammys this year in the same category.
I feel your pain. I mean,
she's
no, she's incredible. She deserves it. But it does, you know, as an independent artist, it does sort of become hard to compete against that kind of. Much like what we find in America economically, there tends to be a very small middle class in music. You're typically at the bottom or at the top, and the middle is kind of something that's harder and harder to stay part of.
Yeah, you just really got to have a marketing machine behind you to compete against what the labels
Oh yeah,
have.
absolutely. And you know, I want to tell you about this, some of the imagery. As a blind person, it's kind of funny that I still think about things in terms of not so much visual imagery, but storytelling.
I love it.
And one of your songs, one of your songs today was talking about, I may be getting the words a little bit wrong, but are you looking at the same sky I'm looking at? Mm-hmm. That had a very wistful, longing quality. How did you come about with that concept? That was a great storytelling moment?
Well, it was a very specific moment.
Yeah.
It was being on tour in Eastern Europe and looking at the sky, and I saw the Big Dipper inverted. It was upside down, and we're driving home after a gig, and I'm thinking about my husband. I had just gotten married, and I got married very late in life, and I was wondering, with this big time difference, was he looking at the same sky? What did the Big Dipper look like to him? Was it on its side? Was it upright? And was it still upside down? And so it was that feeling that there can be somebody that you have a distance from that you're still connected to.
Yeah, and are a lot of your songs on this record about this, your sort of newly married status? Because like these years kind of sounds like it might have.
That is connected with it. There's actually one that I didn't play that is really specifically about my marriage.
Yeah.
That song was actually written for my parents' 50th anniversary.
Cool.
For a video that we did, and we had all the family members play on it and sing on it. And they've both since passed, my parents. So that song's really special to me.
Well, this album is something that people are going to want to pick up, and I don't know if you're like me, but I like to sit down and put on a record. I still call it a record. I know that some people don't. I still like to put on a record and listen to it from beginning to end, and I think you will hear the thing that I love about Gwen is the warmth, the personal connection that she brings to the recording. So we definitely want people to get that record. Tell me a little bit just where people can grab this thing. And then we'll let you get back on the road.
Thanks, Joey. You're awesome.
Where can people pick this up? Your website, I assume?
Yeah. Actually, you can just get the link to all of the digital downloaders, CD Baby. Sure, you can send me an email and I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
And we are on Spotify.
Spotify, iTunes.
iTunes, Spotify, iTunes, Pandora. There's a Gwen Hughes station on Pandora.
That is cool. That's what I'm going to program that in my phone like as soon as we're done here.
Yay!
Yes, I think that will be great. And I actually got blamed once. One of my jazz tunes, a friend of mine blamed me for his wife's pregnancy.
Uh-oh.
So hopefully you'll be making the same kind of things happen for other people.
That's my goal.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
listen, if we can't increase the world's population, I mean, what else are we really here for? Anyway, on that crazy note, and you know how it is. You've been watching this show long enough. We will say sayonara for now, and we're going to let Gwen play some amazing music. You are going to love it. Stay tuned.
Faith is fragile in what I believe. Sometimes I can't find a clue. Too many prophets down on their knees. The only truth I have. Looking round corners, trying to catch the sun. Forgot the sky was sometimes blue. Too many preachers saying I am the one. The only truth I have is you. Are you looking at the same sky? Are you missing me tonight? Are you asking yourself why? Can you hold me now? I'll get to you somehow. Quite catch the meaning in the stars or what they say about the moon. What I want is a night that's really ours, the only truth I have. Are you looking at the same sky? Are you missing me tonight? Are you asking yourself why? Can you hold me now? I'll get to you somehow.